Immigration officials say they have arrested a Salvadoran national on Martha's Vineyard who is wanted by authorities in his home country for human trafficking charges. The 50-year-old is a Godaway who entered the U.S. at an unknown date. He was deported at least one other time in June of 2011. A new film, now available on streaming services, is shining a light on human trafficking and child labor. Brett Baer speaks with the director and the executive producer. Brett?
Thanks, John. A new movie being described as a gripping tale of resilience and hope debuts on Amazon Prime Video and Apple TV. It's called City of Dreams, and it's about child trafficking. The film follows one boy's harrowing journey as he is sent from Mexico to a sweatshop in Los Angeles. Author and speaker Tony Robbins is executive producer. Moran Chandani is the writer and director. Thank you both for being here. Tony, just give us the elevator pitch on this movie, because I think it's really compelling, just even looking at the trailer.
It's really, it's a movie you want to see just because it's a thriller. It'll keep you on the edge of your seat. It's based on a series of true stories that have been combined together. And it's really, it's about a boy that gets trafficked. He thinks he's coming to go to a soccer camp and maybe play for the Galaxy in LA, and he gets put into a sweatshop. And so it's about slave labor. But it's hard to describe. It's beyond your imagination what these kids go through. And on the other side of it, though, it's a hero's journey, because this young man finds a way against all odds to free himself and free others. And then it's really a call to action, because right now there are 12 million children in the world that are enslaved. It's the fastest growing criminal enterprise in the world, $150 billion. But people have no idea what's happening when they hear 10, 11 million people coming across the border. And we hear that government has told us we've lost 325,000 children. We know where they are. But this is where some of them are ending up. Film has the power to move people emotionally. If you think about it, we had slavery in this country forever. What changed it was Uncle Tom's Cabin, and it made people say no more. And even Abraham Lincoln read the book. And think about the impact that book had to change slavery. I think this film is a move in that direction.
Let me play a clip from City of Dreams.
Es bueno. Es la decisión correcta para toda la familia.
¿Crees que mañana vas a salir a jugar a la cancha? No.
What kind of decision? The busy kind.
This is real life. You know, it is gripping, but it transitions over to what is really happening today.
Yeah, I mean, it was very shocking for me. I'm originally from India, and you know this stuff is happening in India and China and third world countries, but I had read a case 10 years ago about 72 immigrants trapped in a residential location in El Monte, California, and I couldn't believe it. What's been even more shocking is as I was making the movie between 2019, 2020, 2021, the cases just got worse. I connected with a guy at the Labor Department who runs the wage and hour division for the entire West Coast, and he started sending me cases. And, eventually the New York Times last year did an expose about how 300,000 children have gone missing in our country, and many of them have ended up in the supply chains of some of the largest corporations in America.
I want to play some of the movie testimonials, some people Tony. Take a listen.
Every now and then you come across a film that is actually truly important.
Exposes in no uncertain terms the harsh, brutal, and devastating reality for numerous innocent victims of human trafficking right here in the United States.
It's a masterpiece about one of the most insidious problems that we have in the world and in our country.
So it's not a partisan thing, Tony. I mean, it gets characterized as somehow left and right, but it really isn't.
They think this is focusing on the issues around the border today, and it's not about that. It's about our children. Our children is not a left or right thing, and we need to know what's going on. And the first step is awareness and getting enough emotion. This film will impact you. I mean, it's an incredible film on its own, but it's a film with a mission.
I'm showing you from a boy's point of view what happens when you're trafficked across the border and you're sold into slavery. And when I was making the film, it wasn't a big political issue. I mean, I started this journey in 2019. Somebody said to me, Mo, I know you tried to make this fairy tale, like Slumdog Millionaire type story, but you happen to be pointing at the biggest vulnerability of one of the two political parties in America today in a year that they're trying to get elected. And I was like, well, that wasn't my intention. My intention was to tell a heroic story of a kid who didn't have a voice. And by the end of the movie, he gets his voice back and he shows us what we need to do in order to clean up our country.
So people will love it if they see the film, and hopefully they'll be inspired to participate in some way to put an end to this. Our children really need our help. This is really insane.
It is pretty crazy. It does cross party lines, and it shouldn't be an issue one way or another. The movie itself talks for itself. I mean, it's really, really powerful, but it tracks what we're dealing with real time. Here's the House Judiciary Committee hearing on human trafficking.
Children are not for sale. Many children, especially those crossing the border as unaccompanied minors, are not safe.
Child labor and sex trafficking to the production and distribution of child sexual abuse materials online, harassment, and sextortion. Perpetrators of these repulsive crimes hide within our society.
It's Democrats and Republicans, Tony, and it's real time and it's happening now, so the movie is current.
Yeah, I think so too. I just hope people will get a chance to see it, let themselves be moved, show it to their family, show it to their friends. You can see it now. It's available on Amazon and Apple, as you said, so you don't have to go to the movie theater to see it, but it's an important film to see. And my wife and I personally have been involved in this trafficking issue for almost 8 years. And with myself and some of our friends, we've saved over 71,000 children. And many of these kids, by the way, become social workers to go help other kids get out of this situation. Because you can imagine the trauma they've been through. Turning this around is such an important issue, and I really appreciate, Brett, you having us on.
Yeah, Tony, Mo, we really appreciate the time. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
John, we'll send it back to you.
All right.